Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers predicted to pair Joey Porter Jr. with $43.5 million CB signing. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a few holes to fill on the defensive side as we head into the 2025 NFL offseason, and one of them is at cornerback. With veterans Dante Jackson and Cameron Sutton expected to hit the open market and a questionable amount of depth behind star cornerback Joey Porter Jr., headlined by promising youngsters Beanie Bishop Jr. and Corey Trice Jr., the Steelers will likely look to add another starting caliber CB in either free agency or the draft. Now, the simple solution could just be to re-sign Jackson, who had a solid 2024 campaign in Pittsburgh. Longtime Steelers beat reporter Mark Kaboly went a different direction with a recent prediction, however. During a February 5 mailbag post on X, a fan asked Kaboly the following question: how much will the largest contract given out to a free agent be this year and what position group? Bonus, can guess the player correctly? Kaboly kept his response simple, yet confident, answering, cornerback DJ Reed, 3 years, $43.5 million. The widespread consensus around the league is that Reed, a veteran cornerback of the New York Jets known for being the Robin to Sauce Gardner's Batman, is one of the top 10 free agents in 2025. If you break it down by position, he's typically ranked either number 1 or number 2 for all cornerbacks. Pro Football Focus currently has Reed ranked 6th overall and 1st among cornerbacks, although fellow defensive back and safety Jevon Holland is higher on their list. Reed is set to enter free agency after earning his 6th straight season-long 70.0 plus PFF overall grade, PFF reasoned. His 70.1 coverage grade in 2024 ranked 31st among qualifying cornerbacks. He excelled in PFF's advanced metrics, boasting a 51.28% lockdown percentage. For the most part, CBS Sports analyst Tyler Sullivan agreed with this assessment, placing Reed as the number 1 free agent cornerback, again, behind only Holland for all UFA DBs. Having said that, Sullivan actually ranked Reed 1 spot higher overall, projecting him as the 5th best overall free agent in 2025. Pro Football Network's Ben Rolfe ranked Reed the lowest of the 3 sites, but he still had the Jets CB inside the top 10 at number 8. For the first time, Reed was not the top-rated cornerback as Byron Murphy Jr. was placed ahead of him at number 6 overall. In terms of pure cover corners, DJ Reed is perhaps the top option in free agency, Rolfe acknowledged. While his passer rating allowed, 87.1, ranked just 50th this season, it is his consistency that is key. That was the highest passer rating allowed by Reed since his 2nd year in the league. That is 5 years with a passer rating allowed of 87.1 or lower. Reed has also allowed a limited number of touchdowns per season, but the PFN analyst did question if he's truly a clear-cut number 1 corner that teams avoid. The good news is that the Steelers already have a number 1 cornerback in Porter, so Reed would be slotting into a role that he's grown accustomed to across from Gardner. But you still have to wonder if Pittsburgh would allocate another $43.5 million, $14.5 million per year, into a defense that's already very well paid. This is an interesting prediction from Kaboly, because it's basically a 2-in-1. If the Steelers sign Reed to a contract that pays $14.5 million per season, there's simply no way that they're also reuniting with Jackson. So, in a sense, Kaboly is predicting that Pittsburgh will end up letting Jackson walk as well. The Carolina Panthers trade acquisition spoke very highly of head coach Mike Tomlin following the 2024 campaign. And he appeared to really enjoy his time with the Steelers. For that reason, it's hard to completely rule out Jackson re-signing, but it's also always possible that Pittsburgh decides they'd prefer to upgrade on him, as Kaboly alluded. Either way, there are a lot of intriguing storylines for the Steelers this offseason, and CB2 is certainly one of them. We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out in a little over a month. Steelers star TJ Watt loses out on Defensive Player of the Year. Pittsburgh Steelers star outside linebacker T.J. Watt did not win the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year award. Watt finished fourth in voting behind the winner, Denver Broncos cornerback Patrick Surtain, Cincinnati Bengals edge rusher Trey Hendrickson, and Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. Watt received 3 first-place votes, but a quiet last month when he failed to register a statistic was his ultimate doom. He still racked up 11.5 sacks and put up solid pressure numbers, but Watt's productivity took a sharp downturn after suffering ankle and thumb injuries late in the season. It would have been Watt's second Defensive Player of the Year award. He was second last year to Garrett, which stirred controversy when Watt skipped out on the ceremony. In addition to Watt, Steelers defensive tackle Cameron Hayward earned 1 second-place vote. Hayward earned another first-team All-Pro nod and put up 8.5 sacks. His triumphant return after a season marred by multiple groin injuries in 2023 put him in an elite category for players that were 35 years old or older. Glazer, Russell Wilson won't be back with Steelers. We are still over a month away from the new league year beginning in the NFL, which is where teams can officially begin making roster moves and building for the 2025 season. For the second straight season, the Steelers will enter the offseason with quarterback questions. Both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are set to be free agents, and the only other quarterback under contract is Skylar Thompson. Reports have begun coming out, as well, that Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith put training wheels on Wilson after the first matchup with the Bengals where Wilson turned back time and threw for over 400 yards while the Steelers put up 44 points and defeated Cincinnati. Those reports indicate that Smith told Wilson to stop checking out of plays at the line of scrimmage so Pittsburgh could establish a run game that never got established anyway, and the Steelers' offense looked dreadful in the final month of the season. Should those reports be true, they are very damning toward Smith. Many, though, took it with a grain of salt, assuming it was Wilson's camp that leaked/planted that story to make Wilson look better. Regardless, there is a swarm of fans that will take all reports with that same grain of salt unless they come from NFL insider Jay Glazer, Mike Tomlin's good friend. Well, Glazer gave his thoughts on the Steelers speaking with NBC during Radio Row. "I don't think that's going to happen," Glazer said on Wilson returning to the Steelers. "I think we'll see a new start for Russell somewhere else." Glazer also noted he doesn't think the Steelers know who their quarterback will be in 2025. And while it could be Justin Fields, which is the route many believe they will go, it is still very up in the air, especially if someone like Matthew Stafford becomes available. However, it does appear that Russell Wilson's time in Pittsburgh is over. And you, fan? What do you think of Russell Wilson's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.